He's got this event on Saturday in Florida. It's paid for by his campaign, so this is a political event.
Yeah.
Some have said, what's he doing? He's like in permanent campaign mode, but is that really so bad?
I mean, he needs this. I mean, Kellyanne Conway has talked about the adulation of the crowd being his oxygen. He needs the roar of the crowd. He loves that give and take. So I think for his spirit and his spirits and his soul and sort of how he feels about himself, he needs to be in that comfortable environment. I think it's one of the reasons he goes down to Mar-a-Lago so much, because people are coming up to him, you know, club members, how you doing, Mr. President? You're doing great, and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's better for him, I think, to be down there in terms of how he feels about himself. Maybe he's not reading the papers as much. Maybe he's not watching Don Lemon either at night.
I bet she's watching Don Lemon.
He totally is.
Yeah, he's taping it for later at least. So, yeah.
He's better out of town, right?
He is, yeah.
And this is part of it, right? In Washington, it seems almost universal for presidents. It's kind of the worst in a way, right? You're cooped up.
Sometimes reporters feel the same way.
Sure.
You know, you want to get out, you want to, you know, see different things. And yeah, and it's interesting because initially he said he wanted to be in the White House all the time, and working in an interview months ago, he talked about being in the White House. It's not good for him. He needs to be out. Melania is not there with him. He's like Home Alone meets Citizen Kane when he's there.
And the White House, and Philmont, I want you to weigh in on this. I mean, the White House does go with him, right? So what do you think of this, observing all of this as he's heading out of town and seems to be doing better?
I think this is pretty straightforward. We're making this pretty complicated. This is a guy who looks in the mirror and he wants to see Adonis, and we see Shrek. I mean, it's not that complicated. Over time, if you look at the value of media from when I first started watching media, reports from the Vietnam War that brought home to America what was happening in that war, to what happened with the media in Vietnam, fast forwarding to the free coverage, tens of millions of dollars worth, that the media gave him during the campaign. What we have now is very simple. The man can't take a punch, and as soon as the punch gets turned on him, he turns on the people who make him look like Shrek. I think this is pretty simple. We have a narcissistic president that can't take a punch. It ain't hard.
But he has a lot of people who have intense fealty for Donald Trump, who really intensely support him and do not feel that way at all. I mean, when he says that, he is correct.
Sure, but look at where we've come in the past year or two. We have a man who owned a brand that is Trump hotels, that is great golf courses, that is Trump wine, that is Trump water. He can own the way he's presented to the world. Now he gets to the fishbowl of Washington, D.C., where power is what's important, not money like New York, and he realizes that a lot of people, A, don't respect him, and B, are damaging the brand, not of the company, person. I don't think he can take the transition because he can't own the brand anymore.
What do you think?
Well, and that's why I think we're going to see him on the campaign trail. I think the transition has been hard for him, so he's getting back to the thing where he is most comfortable, where he had the most success in the last year and a half since he got into politics. And yes, I think the adulation is an energy boost for him, but I also think it's an opportunity for him to reframe his agenda, get his prescriptive message forward. We saw it today in North Charleston. I am sure we will see some of it this weekend in Florida as well. And he seems, from our reporting and other people's reporting, he seems frustrated being restricted inside the White House to just 140 characters. It's why he went out to give that press conference yesterday, which was a rant. But now maybe we're going to see him start sort of campaigning on his agenda again.
I know another guy who was frustrated by being constrained, and that was President Obama as well. Thank you guys so much, Nia, Mark, David. I keep skipping over you. I did this earlier, too.